Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cosmic Waves Tarot. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so happy to see you. Today we have our monthly reading for November, and I do apologize. I usually like to get these videos up a few days before the new month begins, but October just really flew for me, and so I'm recording this and posting it on November 1st. So hopefully I will be back to recording and posting a few days before the month begins so that we can all watch what the energies are for this upcoming month before it starts. But regardless, today is our November reading, so please do subscribe if you haven't already to make sure you never miss a similar reading. And as always, if you have a question for the tarot, please do comment. I love seeing your comments and hearing your feedback, and I would love to read tarot for you as well. So if there's a situation or a question that you have in your mind, please let me know, and I would be honored to read for you. So right now, as I'm shuffling, I'm just asking the tarot for some insight, some guidance for November, that we can all share what we can expect, maybe some positive messages for this month ahead. Let me do one more shuffle and we will see what we draw. All right. We have the Lovers, the Four of Wands, and the Eight of Wands. All right. So let's go ahead and start with the Lovers. The Lovers in the tarot is all about, of course, love, but even more so, it's a card about commitment. We can see a woman and a man standing beneath this angel, and so it's a very kind of biblical imagery in a sense, but it's all about vulnerability and union and coming together, making something greater than just yourself and your partner. And so when this card comes up, of course, it might signal a new relationship, especially a new romantic relationship. But moreover, it is about commitment and choice and making the decision to really stick with something. Of course, when there's a relationship or there's a marriage, usually you have to commit to that person and let everything else go, or let the possibility of being with somebody else go. And you choose to be with that person, and you make a commitment to be faithful to them and stay with them. And so you have to make a choice because, you do give up other things by being in that relationship. And the same with really any decision we make in life. So if it's about a career choice, you give up the other jobs that you might have taken by choosing one. Or you choose where to live. You give up your life in other cities, other countries, because you've made a decision to be in one place. And of course, this isn't to say that things can't change or that people don't grow and make other choices. But really, when this card comes up, it's because something requires our commitment. And it requires a choice if we're really going to kind of buckle down and stay with that person or with that thing, or if we make another choice and decide to move on. So when this card comes up, we should really reflect on our lives and think about what choices and what commitments and even what people are coming up for us. Is there somebody new that's come into your life that you really are interested in? If so, maybe you have to take that seriously and stop dating around other people and really just commit to being with them. Or maybe there's a different sort of opportunity, again, could be creative, career related, really anything that requires your full attention and commitment. And so if you're kind of on the fence about something, you have to make a decision and let the other choice go and just be at peace with the fact that you have made your choice. And as I always say, tarot reflects the energies that exist right now. So things can always change in the future and nothing is set in stone. But when this card comes up, it does urge us to think about that. What is going on that needs our commitment? Do we need to recommit ourselves to our relationship? So that is the message from this card. It is a positive one. It's not meant to really apply too much pressure. But if you love something and someone, you want to be with them and you want to be committed to them. And so it's a good affirmation of that union and that joy and security that we find in that type of relationship as well. Then we have the Four of Wands. Again, this is a really bright, beautiful card, and it's all about celebration and joy. The 4 in the tarot is a very, very stable number. So it's a good, the ace is kind of the potential for something or the very beginning seeds of something. The 2 is when we start kind of beginning to materialize it, but not quite. The 3 is really when we start working on something and making plans and making moves. But then the 4 is the card where we get to a level of not total completion, but we get to this point that we've achieved something. And so it's a card about kind of taking a moment to pause and perhaps to celebrate, and especially in this context where the wands correspond to passion and energy and creativity, it's all about taking a moment to kind of revel in that energy. We can see these 2 figures. They're coming forward to decorate this structure that they've set up. And there's people in the background, there's crops in the background. And so we understand that there's some sort of celebration happening here. And so this upcoming month, it looks like there's going to be an opportunity to really come together with your friends, with your family, with your community, and enjoy the experience of being together, enjoy the accomplishment of whatever you've been working toward. I love this card especially because if you are in the United States, Thanksgiving is coming up this month and the beginning of the holiday season. So we have this great energy of celebrating together, enjoying together, and really just having that great community energy. So this is a really wonderful card. I'm very glad to see it. And I do think that this kind of festive and energetic card hopefully does balance out the more quiet, dark season, if you're in the northern hemisphere, that we find ourselves going into. So a great reminder to get together with your loved ones, even if it's virtually or, maybe it's not as much as we want, but put yourself out there and go to events and, reach out to your loved ones because this energy is needed this month. And I think it will be very good for all of us to experience that. And then finally, we have the 8 of Swords. A more difficult card to end on for sure. Swords in the tarot are all about our mind, our logic, and that kind of critical thinking side. It's the air sign of the tarot. And so when the 8 comes up, this card is all about restriction, and it's often interpreted as self-imposed restriction. This woman is standing between all these swords, and she's wrapped up in this rope here with a blindfold on. But she doesn't actually appear to be in any danger because the swords are all in the ground. You know, they're not pointed at her, they're not threatening her. She's just surrounded by them. And so when this card comes up, it asks us to examine what barriers we've put into our mind, or what we've told ourselves that we can and cannot accomplish, or that we identify as, or really any sort of mental block that is getting in the way of who we want to be. And so when this card comes up, it's time to really try and clear away some of this energy and understand that, of course, there are real barriers and there's sometimes real systemic issues for some things, but there's also a level at which we can take responsibility for our actions and we can try to move ourselves into a better place. Even if this isn't in the material sense, but maybe there's something that you want to accomplish, like, oh, I really want to write a book, but then you tell yourself, well, I don't know if anyone is interested in this idea. I don't know that I'm smart enough to really write a book at this level. I don't know, maybe I'll just kind of forget about it. That's this type of energy. Those are these blocks that you're putting on yourself by telling yourself that you can't do something. Even if it's, something like making more friends, and then you say, oh, well, I don't know if I'm going to go out to this because I want to do this other thing at home, and I don't know if I'll connect with these people. You start telling yourself all these reasons why something won't work out. And so the challenge of this card is to stop doing that, stop putting those mental blocks in place. And when this card comes up, I always think, let other people tell you no. So if there's something you want to do or accomplish or ask for, don't be the one to put these swords up. Don't be the one to tell yourself no before you've even taken a chance. So again, I hope that this supportive energy of the 4 of Wands kind of helps to break us out of this 8 of Swords energy. Because connecting with other people and being in community and celebrating really does help to remove these kind of blocks, and it can help lift us up and give us some perspective that we sometimes lack on our own. And so this spread kind of makes me think that there's maybe something we want to commit to this month, that the Lovers is encouraging us to really buckle down and commit to, and it's going to be a really enjoyable, fruitful, important relationship or situation for us. And maybe we're a little bit afraid to do that because we don't know if it's the right time or the right person, or if we're good enough to do it. But then being in community and being with our friends is really going to, I think, lift us up and hopefully take us out of this 8 of Swords energy. So I hope that this reading was encouraging. I hope we have a really great November ahead. Again, when the Lovers comes up, it's a good card and it encourages us to commit to something that's good for us. So it's not something to be scared of if that word commitment does put you off. It is a positive thing, and the decision is one that has to be made with full excitement, and ultimately it is for the better. So I'm wishing everyone a really wonderful November. I will be putting out more videos soon with other questions from the community and other general readings. So please do subscribe to see all of those. and I can't wait for the December reading and very soon the winter solstice. So I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.